All right, it's time to take you around the association. NBA season, it continues to heat up as all 30 NBA teams have played more than half of the 82 games this season. But as you guys know, watch the NBA, there's been a lot of talk about load management over the past few seasons, and one coach is calling for the NBA to shorten this season. That coach is Steve Kerr. Following the Warriors' OT loss in Boston on Thursday, Kerr rested starters Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, and Andrew Wiggins against the Cavs on Friday. And he acknowledged that he understands the fans who get upset when NBA teams rest their star players. So Kerr put it out there that the league should take 10 games off the schedule and make it a 72-game season. His rationale is this: it'll protect the players' health, balance the schedule, and improve the quality of play, also with keeping the players fresh for the playoffs when the games mean more. Now, I'm with Kerr on this. I think it makes a lot of sense. You want to see the best, highest quality of games possible when it comes to an NBA season. And look, fans work hard for their money. They want to see players on the court. We won't have to do all this load management and have people complain about all this stuff. Get the best players on the court, shorten the season. It's going to make for better games. It's going to work. Now, speaking of players missing games, we got to talk about Lakers All-Star Anthony Davis. He could be out of street clothes and back in the LA uniform soon. ESPN, they reported that AD continues to make pain-free progress on his right foot, and there's optimism for a return to the lineup as soon as late next week. Good news for the Lakers. He's been out with a foot stress injury since mid-December. And look, AD's been having a career year before he went out. 27.4 points per game. That's a career best also. 59.4% from the field. 12.1 boards, 2.6 assists, 2.1 blocks, 1.3 steals. He's been putting up numbers. And look, the Lakers, they need him back. They're 21-25 after Friday's win over the Grizzlies. They're one game out of the last West play-in spot, and they start a 5-game road trip at the end of next week when he could come back. Guess who that's going to be against? Their rivals, the Boston Celtics. Speaking of rivals, NBA Rivals Week tips off January 24th. That's next week. It's a new thing from the NBA. And look, I like this. Now, rivalries have not been the same as they once were, back in the day in the 90s, and I don't want to go back into all that. But there's some pretty good matchups here that I actually care about. Let me talk about the ones I care about. We got Celtics versus Heat. Like that one. Clippers versus Lakers. Battle for LA. Gotta like that too. Nets versus Sixers. They had a lot of drama the last couple of years. Ben Simmons, Philly, James Harden, the whole thing there. Grizzlies versus Warriors. That's a good one. The Grizzlies are always talking smack to the Warriors. Suns versus Mavericks. Look, we know what Luka did to them to knock them out the playoffs last year. Knicks versus Nets here in New York. We gotta like that. Battle for New York. And then Lakers versus Celtics, as I mentioned, to end the week. Now, those are all fine. But there's some matchups I don't care about here at all. We got Bulls versus the Hornets. Does anybody care about this at all? Okay, you could tell me it's Lonzo versus LaMelo, but both of them aren't even playing, okay? Grizzlies versus Timberwolves. You're going to tell me last year they had a great playoff series. But with Pat Bev not being there, does it really have the same intensity? No Karl Anthony Towns? Don't care. And then there's a Raptors versus Warriors matchup. I understand the NBA here is trying to go off of the 2019 finals, but come on. Raptors versus Warriors, it's not a rivalry. Overall, we want to see more rivalries in the NBA. They've been down. Rivalries start in the playoffs. Hopefully, I'm always down for a good rivalry, but hopefully we can see more in the spring as rivalries start budding with the playoffs with all the parity that we've seen in the league this year. So I hope we get some new ones or some old ones can get renewed. We want to see some Knicks Heat again. We want to see that kind of intensity. But that's it for this edition of Around the Association. Enjoy Rivals Week. Until next time, peace.